Let's go!
Mamma mia!
It's down over at Switch Island. I'm here with Sebastian, I'm also with Thomas, and you guys are absolutely wonderful looking game called Alchemic Cutie. So can you tell me a little bit about this game?
Yeah, so it's sort of a mixture between Pokemon and Animal Crossing, where you catch these little jelly creatures, you feed them items to level them up, and then you enter them into jelly competitions.
Where do you get this idea from? Because it's fantastic, you've got me hooked.
It's something from like a really old game prototype I made, and it just like kind of withered on the vine for a few years until we finally contacted each other after, I don't know, however long.
Yeah.
I mean, originally I worked for him, and then we hadn't talked in a while, and then I was like, hey, you want to make a game? And he's like, okay. So,
Just out of the blue one day.
basically, yeah, that's how it happened.
So you said the inspiration was which games?
It was Animal Crossing. Well, for inspiration-wise, so the atmosphere is like Animal Crossing, so it's a very relaxed game, something you want to play like after work, say, and not get stressed out.
Yeah.
It's definitely open world like Animal Crossing. As soon as you start, you can just go and do whatever you want. And then in terms of let's say Pokemon, the jellies have different stats to them. They all have different abilities as well. And depending on where you find them, they'll have different stats, abilities, colors, and shapes, and stuff like that.
So as cutesy as it looks, it's got a lot of depth to it really in the back.
Yeah, well that's it, like we're approaching it like Pokemon, so like when I play Pokemon, it's like water beats fire and that's it, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
But the only way some people like get really into the EVs and IVs, all the statistics of the game. So we have a similar thing here where like, you can just feed them the items and they'll level up eventually, If you get really into it, you can figure out, it's like, okay, if I feed him this item first, then he'll get a buff for 10 minutes and then I feed him this other item and then, so you can kind of get really, it's a two-layer approach,
So it's very, very technical on the other side of things.
Yeah,
So
you can go either way,
So when's it coming out?
We're hoping like end of next year. We're trying to get a publisher at the moment to get funding to actually work on it full time.
Oh, cool.
Because we're still doing our day jobs and we're working on this in our spare time. So
Seriously, still day jobs, now you're doing this in your spare time.
Yeah.
I can barely even play football or soccer in my spare time, let alone come back and create a game. But it's been a pleasure. Sebastian, cheers dude, cheers
nice
Thomas.
to meet
Thanks guys.
Let's go!